What's up guys, I'm randomfrankp, and today we're going to be checking out the top 5 gaming headsets from 2019. Going over some of the best that came out this past year, in case you're thinking of picking up a new one for the holidays. See anything you like, I'll have them all listed for you in the description down below so you can check them out, plus some honorable mentions at the end that we'll quickly go over. But for all 5 of these, I'll talk about some of the features, how they sound, a mic test, all the stuff that you're going to want to know about a gaming headset. Coming in at number 5 is the Corsair Virtuoso RGB Wireless. This is not the SE version, so it's the more cheaper option of the two. But for a wireless headset, I think Corsair did some really great stuff here. Checking it out, this is the all-white version, which I think looks really clean. You can get it in black as well. And instead of a plastic construction, they integrate aluminum here, so it's very solid and very well made. Now that does mean obviously they're gonna be a little bit heavier than your traditional plastic headset overall, but no real concerns to me. They still feel pretty fine on my head, pretty comfortable overall. Clamping pressure is pretty good as well. And you can see for the ear cups, they are rounded for the 50mm neodymium drivers inside. I'm more used to, the oval ear cups, but that's just personal preference. Another thing I really like is the ear cups rotate 360 degrees to lay flat around your neck or on your desk. So pretty cool. These do connect to your PC via a USB dongle with their slipstream technology, although there's also a switch to connect these via Bluetooth if your PC has that built in. You have a nice scrolling wheel for the volume on the headset and a mic mute button as well. Now in terms of sound quality, these probably have the more closed off sound stage out of the ones that I'm comparing today. It's definitely apparent you're wearing closed back headphones. But overall has really nice bass, pretty good clarity in the highs as well, and there is no distortion at all or muddiness. I do wish I could push them about 10% louder though. Now these have a 20-hour battery claim, which is pretty damn good for a wireless headset. Again, that's also in part due to their slipstream technology being pretty low powered, but you can definitely squeeze more out of that if you turn off the RGB lighting on the side of the ear cups, which I would obviously recommend. And now we'll do a sound test. I'll head back to the PC so you can hear it, and we'll do that for all of them coming up. Okay, so for all the mic tests, what I'll do is obviously leave it raw and unedited so you can hear how it sounds plugged straight into the PC. But for what I've heard from this, it does sound pretty, full-bodied, I'd say. There is a decent amount of fuzziness in the background, if you can kind of hear that. But altogether, for a wireless microphone, it definitely sounds pretty good. And also what I'll do for all of these is just type and click in the background so you can kind of see how it would be emulating gaming and stuff. So typing and clicking, but yes. So in the end, for a wireless headset that utilizes new slipstream technology, for the benefits you get out of that with improved battery life, a pretty good mic overall, and just a good sounding headset, pretty good value for $180, which is definitely on the pricier side. But for a wireless headset with these features, that's actually on the lower end of things, believe it or not. Coming up next at number 4 is the Razer Kraken X headset. This came out during the summer and is an incredible value at just $50. So a great budget option out there, but these sound a lot better than your traditional $50 headset. So the keyword with this is impressive. Gaming with these gives you a pretty decent sound stage, which is also gonna be good for directional audio. It doesn't have the tightest bass punch out there, while it does tend to favor a bit of the mids and the treble. But in one area they make up for all that is the fact that inside the box they give you a code to enable their Razer Virtual Surround Sound. And unlike 95% of emulated surround sound software out there, this actually works very, very well, and it even increases the soundstage a bit. Since it's emulated, it also boosts the volume, probably 15% overall, but it actually makes them sound better, which you never see from emulated surround sound. These feature 40mm drivers. The headset is primarily plastic, so it's gonna be very lightweight, but again, for $50, you can't really complain at the construction. On the bottom of the left ear cup, you have your volume dial and a mic mute button, and the mic here is not retractable. Okay, now for the Kraken X mic, you do have a nice flexible boom arm here for this. And one of the things about this is during my actual dedicated review, I just said it was a decent mic, nothing crazy, but all the comments were like, dude, what are you talking about? That sounds great. And I went back and re-listened, and yes, it does sound good for a $50 microphone. So definitely better than any other $50 mic on a $50 headset out there. So pretty good stuff from Razer. Like I said, impressed with the mic in that regard. And again, just doing some typing in the background so you can judge the elimination of the background noise. So again, for $50, you can't really find a better budget value out there. It's really impressive what they did with this. The mic as well sounds really, really good for just $50. Like, it's hard to wrap your head around that. So I would highly recommend these if you want to save some money overall. But what Razer also just did is they re-released these for a $60 option, which has the green logo illuminated, which you plug it in. And instead of terminating in a 3.5mm headphone jack, it terminates in a USB. So a little bit of a trade-off, but still, 50, 60 bucks, depending on which one you get. The Kraken X, great value. Coming in at number 3 is the Fanatic React. This is a newer headset that came out within the last month, and it's probably gonna be gaining some traction over the year because once these, get out there in the wild, you're probably gonna be seeing them a lot more. These are awesome. In terms of the design, nothing too impressive here. It follows that similar design language like we see in other headsets like HyperX and stuff, but it's not about how they look, right? It's about how they sound. In terms of the comfort, we have very good padding on the ear cups and the headband up top. Like the HyperX headsets, it extends to fit wider heads. Now there's no actual controls on the ear cups, but we do have inline controls on the cable. You have a mic mute switch and a volume wheel. But now into the goods, the sound quality. I have to say overall, fantastic soundstage and stereo separation, which gives a really distinct separation in the left and right driver for accurate positioning and pinpointing audio in game. It is extremely impressive here. Now they say that's actually due to the individual sound chambers inside the drivers, which sounds like typical, marketing jargon, but it's legit. Probably some of the best stereo imaging I've heard in a headset. For the bass, we have a nice and controlled punch. Nothing overwhelming if you're a bass head, but the bass is going to be more than most headsets out there. These definitely favor some clarity in the higher end frequencies, but there's also very clear mids with a sparkle in the treble, all while sounding pretty warm at the same time. I'm telling you guys, the stereo imaging in here is insane. So for the mic, yet again, a nice flexible boom arm. It is also detachable. And from what I've heard of this so far, I'll just type now while I'm doing this. It is a pretty clear sounding microphone. I did have to boost the gain levels a bit in my sound settings because it's just plugged into my front I/O on the PC. But that just could be my I/O, who knows. But what I liked about this mic is that there's a good amount of bass to my voice, which is something you don't really see a lot in gaming microphones. So I was impressed with that. But I'd say overall, middle of the pack. It's not nasally or tinny, so pretty good. I am just extremely impressed with the Fanatic React here. Like I said before, they're a newer headset, so you might not hear about them now, but trust me, these are gonna gain some serious traction in the headset market. And they're only $70, which is another fantastic value. Winding down at number 2, we have the Cloud Orbit S from HyperX. And these are probably the most unique gaming headset I've tried, hands down. And that's saying something. Now the reason I say that is because these have this 3D audio sound space and head tracking built in, which is gonna give you a really unique experience unlike a regular headset. Inside we also have 100mm planar magnetic drivers, and they're actually from Odyssey, and it's the same drivers in the Odyssey Mobius headset. So it's pretty cool to see this collaboration with HyperX. And if you're asking what planar magnetic drivers are and how they're different, they're built and designed completely different than a dynamic driver, and these offer extreme resistance to any kind of distortion. So you don't usually see planar drivers in headsets, which is why in here, it makes that special exception with the 3D audio coming up. Now, for a headset with this much technology built in, it is on the slightly heavier side, but really, it does a good job of weight distribution all around. Like when it's on my head, it doesn't feel that heavy, which is definitely a good plus, even though there's really not a lot of padding on the headband. So good stuff doing that. The ear cups also revolve to lay flat around your neck, that's a thing, neck or your desk. And all the controls are on the bottom of the left ear cup. Your mic volume, your headset volume, muting the mic, turning the headset on, and your 3D imaging reset, which is the meat and potatoes of this headset. So let's talk about that for a minute. You have to download their Waves NX software, and this gives you that full 3D head tracking soundstage, which opens a whole new gate, okay? With a regular headset, regardless of the direction of your actual head, you're gonna have audio in the left and right ear cups, okay? But that obviously changes if you look in game. What this does is it changes the audio depending on the way your head in real life is actually positioned. So for example, if my monitor's in front of me and I'm playing Battlefield, if I in real life look to my left, I'm gonna hear more of what's going on in my right ear cup. Vice versa, if I look over there, I hear it in here. It delivers a really unique soundstage that in game could be very interesting, especially in VR. That's kind of what I see like the main use of these for, but in non-VR and regular games, it works very well. It's really, really cool, but it's not limited to just that. You can also bind your head movement to an actual keystroke. So that means, if you tilt your head past a certain analog point as it's tracking your head, it's gonna trigger a key press. So like in PUBG, for example, you tilt your head to the left, then your character is gonna lean left like you're pressing Q. In return, that also means you're freeing up your hand movements, so you're not pressing an extra key, you're doing that natural movement with your head. That's kind of a game changer. So their software is pretty much essential to get these running properly. And for a better experience, you can actually fine tune this to the exact dimensions of your head, so it's more accurate as well as the overall space in your room. It could all be configured, and in the end, like I said, just gives you one of the most unique experiences I've had on a gaming headset. It's honestly not a gimmick. It is crazy cool. So yet again for the mic, a flexible boom arm, also detachable. But what I like about this is it's actually a very clear sounding microphone with practically zero distortion or background noise going on. So really great to hear that. As I'm typing and clicking now on the mouse, you can judge how that sounds in the background. But yeah, this sounds a lot better than I thought it would. I would say that I wish there was a little bit more bass to my voice, but all things considered, really can't complain. And what's funny is I figured with all the technology going on here, the mic would be, overlooked, but it wasn't. The mic sounds really, really good for the overall quality of what's going on inside this headset. Another thing I didn't mention is since this is primarily used on your PC via USB, they also include a USB-C to USB-C and a 3.5mm headphone jack. Because these have a 10-hour battery built in, so when you're using this on your PC, you use it with a regular USB port, you don't have to worry about the battery life. But if you want to use these on your Xbox, for example, you use the 3.5mm headphone jack, and you still have that 3D sound space and head tracking for 10 hours, which is pretty cool. Now, think of everything you get here with this package. The sound quality, the good mic, the head tracking, all that, the 100mm planar drivers. These are gonna be hella expensive, okay? They are $330. So, yeah. But if you spend that, you are gonna be getting, like I said, 3 times now, the most unique gaming headset I have ever tried. And I don't think you're gonna have buyer's remorse at all. Now, I struggled with putting these at number 2 or number 1. I wasn't too sure, but ultimately the price tag knocked these down to number 2. So coming in at number 1 for what I think is the best gaming headset of 2019, the Logitech G Pro X. These are incredible for what they are, honestly. You're seeing a lot more esports teams use these regularly. Shroud uses these as his main gaming headset, and rightfully so. I feel like Logitech just nailed everything here. So these are extremely comfortable. Something about the mix of the aluminum and the soft rubberized matte plastic we have for the overall construction. It all makes for a pretty lightweight headset overall, and when it's on your head, you could barely even notice. Clamping pressure is phenomenal. We actually, they give you 2 different sets of ear cups, so you can kind of switch it out depending on how it feels to you, but extremely comfortable while you're wearing them. There are no physical buttons on the headset, again, just inline controls for muting your mic as well as, volume control. So the ear cups just have that kind of brushed nickel look with the Logitech G logo with 50mm drivers on the inside. Now, in terms of sound quality, this is really what separates them from the first 3 on this list. The bass is very strong. It's a warm punch for sure that does not get distorted. If an explosion goes off mid-game, you're gonna feel that. Soundstage also very good. It's a lot more open than most, which in returns means directional audio is gonna be spot on. You get tons of clarity in the mids, which is also gonna help with, pinpointing things like footsteps. And this is another one that actually takes advantage of their G-Hub software, which you can go in and fine tune these with different EQs and stuff. You can also download different EQs from some of the pros out there that use this. So you can actually push these more than what you get out of the box, and they do actually sound better, which again, with software is something you don't usually see, but here they nailed it. The sound quality is really the reason why these are number 1. Okay, so with the G Pro X mic test, this is it right now, which is actually a bit different than the other mic test because this is utilizing the Blue Voice in the software. This is giving it a broadcaster boost. There are tons of different EQs to pick from. This is the one that I think sounds, better, but you can go in and completely customize literally everything. Tons of EQs and different levels you can mess with to make it sound better. Then if I disable all that, this is the stock microphone without any software. Again, just doing some typing and stuff in the background. But this is one that I would recommend going in and utilizing the Blue Voice software and stuff to really, customize the mic and make it how you want to sound. So when it comes down to it, to me, this is the top gaming headset of 2019. It's probably the most popular from throughout the year. I've seen it the most, and to me, it's the most comfortable. It sounds incredible, and you don't usually take advantage of software to boost these, but with the Blue Voice and stuff, you could change the EQs, even change up the mic and stuff, as you've heard. Really, really impressed, and these are my main headset. For everyone asking when I use a headset on console or on PC, this is them, when I'm not using headphones, that is. And now, for the honorable mentions, we have 3 of them, and I'm just gonna do the sound test for the quick synopsis of them. Now first, the Cooler Master MG751, and I really wanted to include this in the top 5, but ultimately decided the honorable mentions would fit best. But when it comes down to just being an incredible value at $75, this takes the cake. And as you can hear, the mic is phenomenal as well. And the headset is very comfortable. It's built very similar to the ATH M50X headphones that are very popular. They sound good, and the ratings speak for themselves. Then is the Sennheiser GSP 370. A wireless headset from a company like Sennheiser is obviously going to mean it sounds godly, and it does. But the reason it deserves mentioning is the 100-hour battery life. That is insane for a wireless headset. 100 hours. But what else is insane is this mic quality. It's ain't in a bad way, it's straight up booty. This is $200. Then the last honorable mention is the 2019 Astro A40 TR wired headset with their Mixamp Pro bundle. I think as a whole, it is just a great gaming headset. I love the Mixamp Pro, really cool for streaming and stuff. And as you hear, the mic is also really, really good. Astro is a very popular headset company. This is $250, but I think that's going to be worth it if you can find that one on sale. So alright guys, that'll wrap it up for my video on the top 5 gaming headsets of 2019. Hope you enjoyed. Don't forget, I'll have them all listed for you in the description down below. And keep an eye on them. With Black Friday, Cyber Monday coming up, odds are you can find them on sale. Let's hope. But maybe we can save you guys some money. But that'll wrap it up. If you liked this video, definitely give it a big thumbs up to show your support. If you thought this was helpful, if it helped you out, let me know. Feel free to follow me on Twitter at randomfrankp. And last, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. I hope you enjoyed. Have a good day.